Hello, hello. Let me know if you guys can hear me. It's telling me that the sound is off, but... Hi, Nikki and Juan and Stephanie and Stacy. I hope everyone is well today. So we're here to do Virgo. We're looking into the energies that left you off in March, the energies that are available to you now. Hi, Melissa and Dolly, and the energy you'll be stepping into at the end and kind of leaving you off in middle of April, since this is technically, it's the 15th. It's not technically, it is the middle of March. Hi, Will. So we're going to be looking at you and your energy and others' energy, and other is just whichever other energy is affecting you the most right now, is occupying your thoughts, your heart space, and it can be, yes, absolutely, like a romantic interest, current partner. It can also be like in-law stuff. It can be work stuff. It can be kid stuff. It can also be a version of you that you're either trying to step into or shed out of. As I like to put it sometimes, the demons we either snuggle or struggle with, right? Hi, Hannah. So good to see you here. Okay. Very interesting. Capricorns, if you have any Capricorn or 10th house placements, for sure go watch Capricorn's reading. Very interesting. And I loved that reading. It was great reading. Okay. I just realized my glasses are on top of my head. Alright, let's... And we're also looking at the alchemy between the two energies, and that's my center row, and that is because that most times not everyone is being fully transparent, and if everyone was being fully transparent, you probably wouldn't be here. So and people aren't sometimes transparent because they're afraid of rejection. Sometimes it's because they're afraid they'll say too much to somebody and scare them off, or they're afraid they can't give you all of everything, so they give you nothing. And sometimes it's just because it's out of separation, but often people aren't completely transparent. Out of fear, not because they're liars or schemers or any of that. Ooh, we like that. We like that too. Why are the aces in reverse? This is, people are matching energies here. This person is definitely being a mirror to you. Very interesting. Virgo. So this energy is dropping you off. And I didn't finish my sentence, which I often do, and I'm so sorry when I do that. That alchemy in the middle, because everybody is not always being completely transparent. It's just reading the energy that's bouncing off, and the energy of universe, and how universe is reading that energy and what it's doing about it. The third energy that's created from the two of your energies. So we have the Ace of Cups. It is in reverse. Virgo, it could feel like you are running out of your cup that spilleth over is what I'm hearing. In other words, like your endless resources to be supportive may be running low. It feels like you're feeling a little disenchanted and disappointed by something that was supposed to be full of love both ways. And that love is just not, it's being said, and I don't know that it's being shown. It doesn't necessarily feel like you want to take back an I love you, but it might feel like, and not that I love you isn't enough, but that I love you isn't fixing it. The I love you isn't fixing it. And it's like, here's all of your I love yous back. May I please have actual changed action? Can I have changed behavior? I will give you all of these I love you back. And I will trade them in, each one of them, for some actual changed behavior. Because I'm running low on the I love you is, you know. And I'm not saying there isn't love, but it's not the Band-Aid. The I love you. Not so much the love, but the I love you as a quick fix is... On the other side, we have the Emperor. This is somebody who is growing and trying to grow. It's the only Emperor. It's one of two Emperors of all of my tarot decks that, like, I kind of like him. Now, in this deck, there's a female representative of the Emperor and a female representative of all the kings. But this is the male, masculine, presenting Emperor, the masculine energy Emperor. And, you know, there is growth there. There is growth, but there's also pride. So it's like, look, I worked on those two things like 3 years ago. I'm going to wear them proudly here. And every time that we fight, I'm going to say, do you remember how I used to do that? I don't do that anymore. But that they're sitting on the pride of those two little badges of, look what I did. Sorry, that came through so strong. They're sitting on their, like, you know, look what I did. Kind of, I did that thing 3 years ago. And you don't appreciate that anymore. Like, we're all supposed to grow all the time, right? So, in the middle of this, we have Temperance. Now, Temperance, the original... And you guys who are here all the time probably hear sick of me saying this, but the original definition for the word temperance was to abstain from alcohol. So while temperance sometimes is interpreted, what the fuck was that? As, I don't know who I have that's funny, but I all of a sudden feel like I know I'm in this room by myself and I'm reading by myself and I'm the only one on screen, but I suddenly feel like I'm in the, like, the back of the bus, like with the other fun kind of, maybe sometimes go to detention kind of kids. Everything is funny to me right now. Like, I keep finding the darker, funny, meaning in or the playing out of everything. I don't know who that is in the chat, or if it's somebody that's going to be watching and I'm already feeling your energy, because that's a thing. But I have the case of, like, 16-year-old giggles here. I apologize, but I'm not mad at it too. So temperance can be interpreted as balance, but it's really the overcorrection of trying not to do something that takes you so far out of balance. There's a difference between like, yeah, things are just kind of balanced. Things are just working. Feels effortless. Temperance does not feel effortless. Temperance feels like work to overcorrect something. But it looks like balance on the outside. It's very much, and I always say this, you know, if you were there for the progressed moon thing, my main computer that's only a year old, that's not a cheap computer, that I take very good care of, all of a sudden just didn't work. Worked fine the night before, went to go do the live, an hour before the live, my main computer is not working. So there is an older MacBook Air, and I'm like, oh my God, do I even know the passwords? And I am trying to get ready. I am fresh out of the shower, hair sopping wet, the whole nine, realizing I don't have a computer to go live. I don't have a computer to do anything. All of my passwords, everything is hooked up to this one computer. Can't worry about that now. I have a live to go to, and Connie Joe is there, and everybody's waiting because it's going to be whatever. I scramble. We were tardy. I managed literally when I got on with Connie Joe to get ready, the last 5 minutes, the camera wasn't working. And then we went live. And then in the middle of the live, my fan broke on the second computer. So weird. Then Emily gave up her computer, which is not that old, but it wasn't that great to begin with, and it's very slow. And the camera's awful and whatever else. And then that one was plugged in and telling me at the end, it's why I rushed off, that it was gonna die. And I was like, I don't want to leave Connie Joe a second time. So I was just like, okay, we're gonna wrap this up. It was insanity, and I couldn't believe what was happening. But when I got off, I was having Tourette's and talking to Connie Joe, and she said, you were so calm through everything. Hi, Alexandra. You were so calm through everything. And I said, I have, strong Virgo placements. We look like a duck on the water. And I used to say this all the time to my staff when I had a business. No matter what happens, if something goes wrong, we don't want everyone else to panic. So we stay calm like a duck on the surface. We look like we're gliding along, even though underneath the water there's furious paddling. And that was what was going on. And that is so palpable for Virgo. And this card, I know I just took a long way to get to a place. But if you watch that video, I'm smiling, we're making jokes about it, but underneath I'm going, what the fuck is happening? How do 3 computers break inside of an hour and a half? 2 hours? That's crazy. And then I had problems with my phone later that day. Wackadoo. Hi, Latanya. Latanya girl, you got an email. You just got a letter. Okay, I'm done. I don't know what's wrong with me. So this temperance is that duck on the water. It looks so pretty, so balanced, but it is a constant job to keep the overcorrection from what it could be. And that is, I almost feel like an exhaustion. I almost feel the exhaustion from the Virgo and the, I'm gonna do it. Like, please observe the field in which I grow my fucks. See how it lays barren. These are all take all the I love yous back. These were all the fucks I had to give. We are not taking simple words as a correction of behavior. I don't want the I'm sorry's and the I love yous anymore. I want the change behavior, right? And here is the energy in between, looking like it's fixed, but it's not really fixed, and it doesn't feel fixed. Looks fixed, doesn't feel fixed. Looks fixed, does not feel fixed. Exhaustion. Okay. King of Wands in reverse. This King of Wands played its tribal sacral drum so hard that it set it on fire. It is in reverse. I have teased and called my Virgo community closet freaks. Hi, Annika. Just because Virgo likes everything perfect, there's a place where they need to be messy. There's a place where they need to be inspired, impassioned. Hello, Dunkle's Hearts. And so that passion is important to them. It allows them space to service and make things right. It is the happy. It is, you know, it's easy to spend the time to caretake, to analyze, to make everything right, to edit, to take the thoughts of Mercury and put them in their place so they can serve the public and serve other to its full potential. That's what Virgo does. It takes the thoughts of Mercury and organizes them and then puts them back out, right? To serve the public, serve others, serve everyone to its full potential. There's a passion behind that. Virgos aren't computers. They are not robots. There's a passion behind that. And they like to beat their drum so hard, I said what I said, that it goes on fire. So when there is that lack of that, we have a barren field of fucks, and that we are not accepting I love yous as apologies or band-aids. There's the whole story here. On your person's side, very interestingly, they have the Six of Wands, but not any Six of Wands, this Six of Wands. Now, this Six of Wands, I've said it before, if anyone's heard me, the success, it kind of is mirroring this. The success is like only comes if there's the carrot before the horse. In other words, you need, this person needs something constantly. Like, it's not going to get there on its own. And what I also don't love, I have to be honest, Virgo, is that, I cannot pick up this card. Okay. They are facing away from each other in their places. When I lay them on the table, they are facing away from each other. We love a Six of Wands. We don't love it when, what happens if the flower goes away? What happens if the carrot gets yanked? Will the horse just stand still? Will the bird just stop flying? Is that you with the flower? Is that you with the carrot? Like, that's great. This person's like, look at this thing I did 3 years ago. Remember when I did that thing? I'm going to wear it right here. So we're always going to talk about it. How great I am. And you're like, yep, you're great. As long as I hold up the carrot, as long as I hold up the flower. I swear that's Virgo writing. We have 2 of Wands in the center in the alchemy. Where are we now and where do we want to be? Now, it doesn't mean that it has to leave the relationship, but neither person, right? It doesn't mean the relationship. In some folks' case here, this is probably a horse that's been beaten dead quite a few times. For others, this relationship has to change in a way that it supports both people being incredibly in love with their life, which I don't feel now. Now, that doesn't mean there isn't a way to get there. But right now, neither person is in love with their life, and they know what's missing, and they know what they want it to be. Feels a little bit like a battle of wills, if I'm being honest. I love that. Look what you look what you get in the upcoming energy, Virgo. One of my favorite star cards. The star card represents wish fulfillment. It also represents healing. It is the Aquarian card. I almost don't care about all the other cards on the board. I love this. If this is how you end up, I love it. Now, there's judgment in reverse for this other person's side for the upcoming energy. Judgment in reverse for me. She looks like she's going out for New Year's Eve. Judgment is usually 3 people, or it's called the call, right? We see the 3 trumpeters. And this one, it's just 1 trumpeter. But what's so interesting is that she's not actually trumpeting. If you look closely, her lips are not touching. All the magic is down here. This person wants back in. They want to redo on a decision they made because they now see with their new eyes that they made a couple of decisions they would like to redo. The new version of them, the smarter, wiser, more spiritually evolved version of them, would like to re-execute those decisions. Past, present, future. But the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse between the 2 of you. You're healing, and they're kind of having, uh-oh, maybe I want to redo that. So let's get these clarified. What deck do we use? I feel like we're just going to take an old-fashioned Ciro Marchetti. I really didn't use these for like a year and a half. I am a Virgo rising. I'm Virgo rising, and I have a few more placements in Virgo besides that. And my Pluto in Virgo is conjunct my rising. So Pluto on the ascendant. So little hint, anytime you have a planet like really close to your ascendant, I'm going to give you a little astrology tip here. Anytime you have a planet really close to the ascendant, the flavor of the ruler of that planet kind of comes to your persona. So for me, I have a little Scorpio flavor on me, which people, when they hear I'm a water sign, kind of always assume I'm a Scorpio. I am not. But so if you were a Capricorn rising, but you had Venus right on your ascendant, you would come off a little Taurian or a little Libran. If you are a Cancer rising, but you have Jupiter near your ascendant, and I'm talking like 2 or 3 degrees, you would come off a little Sagittarian. Does that make sense to everyone? So any planets that you have within like 2 or 3 degrees, we're not talking about asteroids, we're just talking about planets. Oh, that is so interesting. You're going to have a little of that extra. So you may not have anything in Libra, right? But if you've got that Libra within 2 degrees of your ascendant, you might feel like, why do I feel like I relate to Libra videos or Libra people, or just when people talk about Libra placements, and I feel like, oh, I feel like that's how people see me, or that's how I see the world. That's gonna be why. I should timestamp that astrology tip. I can't see all of my things that would normally have the time. 27:20, 27, right? About 27 minutes. No. Nope, it's just the ascendant, because the ascendant is how we see the world and how the world sees us. It gives us a flavor of how we come off to others. There will be other expressions of a planet conjunct your moon, but it won't be the same way that it. And if you have your moon right near the ascendant within 2 degrees, yes, you're going to come off a little Cancerian, but also you may wear your heart on your sleeve. If it's in the first house within 2 degrees of your ascendant, you're going to wear your heart on your sleeve, and everyone's going to know. If it's in 2 degrees of your ascendant in the 12th house, you're going to feel like you wear your heart on your sleeve, but it's just the tip. And you may feel misunderstood, or like, I'm so transparent, why can't people get me? I should probably just cut that out and make it a little astrology short. Then your daughter is a human lie detector if she's got Pluto and she's funny. And she may get disappointed a lot, because the Jupiterian energy is going to make her very optimistic and hopeful. And then the human lie detector is going to show her who people are, whether they present themselves that way. And if she's hopeful about what they show her, even though her little, tell your daughter to always trust her little inkling. I wish somebody had told me that far earlier in my life. Okay. We need one more. Well, I'm going to talk about these clarifications, and then we're going to pull an oracle card from my new roses, or Oracle of the Roses by Sherilyn Darcy. Gorgeous deck. Okay, one more. Why won't it give us one more? I'm only applying that, like, if it's in the first house, that's one thing. Because, like, my Uranus is in the first house, but I give a little Uranus flavor with, like, different colored hair or whatnot, but not as much as somebody who's going to have it within 2 degrees. I'm going to say for that tip, 2 degrees. Okay. Drinking my cayenne ginger lemonade. So what's interesting is you had 4 come out for this King of Wands, and I let it, because to double down, because Virgo did its homework, so it's not wrong. We have another King of Wands in reverse. And then just to make sure we're clear about that energy. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles. So needing to move on, but holding on to something here. We have a Knight of Wands. And we have the Tower in reverse. So again, the Tower in reverse and the Temperance card, if I'm being honest, have a little bit of the same energy for me. Trying to avoid disaster, trying to avoid disaster. Does that make sense to everybody? We're truly understanding the roots of the word temperance. So we have trying to avoid disaster, but really completely uninspired. Holding on to something because you're trying to avoid disaster. And then we have the Knight of Wands. Oh, I almost want to clarify another 3 cards on the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands makes me feel like sometimes you're going through the motions. You're just showing up for the night. Because the Knight of Wands is, you know, comes for the panty drop. Doesn't necessarily stay after the panty drop. It's a night. It's, you know, and the Knight of Wands rushes in. So either sometimes to fulfill needs or to just keep everything status quo to avoid the disaster. I think you might temporarily show up in that form. The message of passion, the word spoken. Make no mistake, any mercurial ruled sign very much is sapiosexual. The words matter. So whether the words got to you or you're bringing the words because it's just, you're pissing me off, but I also have needs. It's very interesting. It's very back and forth, which I don't think you enjoy, Virgo. I don't think you're enjoying that. On their side here, on the 6 of Wands, that's carrot led. Also 4 cards came out. Seemed appropriate. And we have the 4 of Cups in reverse. So 4 of Cups is not paying attention. Hi, April, my love. 4 of Cups is not paying attention to the thing being offered to you by universe so that you can cry over the other 3 cups or worry about the other 3 cups. This one's in reverse. 3 of Cups in reverse. 3 and 4 of Cups in reverse. 8 of Swords in reverse. 8 of Cups in the upright. It feels like epiphanies on both sides, but not full movement. Normally I love an Eight of Swords in reverse. I almost feel like on this side, because of everything else we're getting on this side, I almost want to be like, well, maybe you should be a little worried. Maybe you shouldn't be so carefree about the stress, because yeah, you're winning because somebody else is like dangling the carrot so you know what direction to make your life good. Huh. Okay. Then we have, you know, this Eight of Cups, moving on from what no longer serves you. I like that with the Four of Cups. I like that with the Three of Cups in reverse. But it feels like they're going, if I'm honest, it feels like they're kind of going off to leave whatever doesn't any longer serve them without fully exhausting their accountability in the whole thing. That just came through. Okay, so I think a bunch of people left when I was talking about astrology, which is funny to me. On top of this healing card, we have the King of Cups in reverse. That makes perfect sense to me. We have the Two of Swords. No more indecision. No more just being the only emotional mature one. And then we have the King of Pentacles sitting on top, which I love for you, Virgo. And it's interesting to me to have the King of Cups in the reverse and the King of Pentacles in the upright. There's a lot of kings, a lot of big energy, a lot of like battle of the wills. We have the Emperor. We have 1, 2 kings on this side, King of Wands doubled down, and an Emperor over there. And now we have another 2 kings over here. A lot of kings on the board, because these are opposite astrologically. The opposite of the King of Pentacles would be the King of Cups, and here it is upside down. Again, double downing and mirroring the same energy. They want back in. Walking away from what no longer serves them could be walking away from their stubborn pride. And I hope that that's what it is. We have Five of Swords. No one's fighting but them anymore. We have the Sun in reverse. Don't love that. We have the Hierophant in reverse on this Judgment. I'm going to tell you, you're good, Virgo. You're going to be good by the time March ends, by the time, you know, beginning of April, middle of April, right? But they're going to feel a little lost. And I do wonder if there is a little Gemini energy or something where that Mars and Gemini, you know, moving into Cancer is gonna have an impact on this person. There is some kind of like spiritual hokey pokey, which is such a weird thing to say, but that's how I heard it, going on with them. There is a little bit of growth, not a ton, but a little bit of growth on their side. On this side, there is a ton of growth, and that's your side. This Ace of Pentacles, I'm going to go ahead and clarify it because it interests me. And then we'll pull the Oracle card. the Devil in reverse, and the Ace of Swords. First ace that came out in the upright. So on this Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which we don't really love to see that, but it's like, I will not grow new stability based on this. Like, that is not happening. Okay. We got the Ace of Swords, the Devil in reverse, and the Hangman in reverse. It's time. There's a letting go of the self-sabotaging behaviors, whatever you don't have good enough boundaries about for Virgo. Everybody thinks Virgo has such hard boundaries, but they tend to not. They have that in common with their sister sign. But there is an Ace of Swords. There is a new beginning here in thoughts, in communication. We are leaving self-sabotaging behind, and it is time to move things. This doesn't feel like an easy moving of things. I think your healing, your independence, your ready to, and you don't have any qualms about it. There's no indecision about it. The idea that you're not just going to be the only emotional mature one and holding up that carrot all the time, like that's through healing, not through stubbornness, not through ultimatum. No healthy relationships start or are fixed by ultimatums. This is just a sitting in evolved good energy, and it definitely does shake things up here. I think there's a bigger story to be told in April for Virgo, but I like what's going on your side. I like the awareness. I like the epiphanies. I like the understanding of your own worth. I love settling into energy that finally feels really peaceful and not pretend peaceful. All right, let's pull an oracle card. Aren't these gorgeous? Ta-da. And up close, there's like all so pretty. Okay, can we get an oracle card for Virgo? Just a little advice, just a little extra information from universe to bring a little extra layer to what should be brought to your awareness for your best, not for anyone else, but for your best outcome. Okay. Okay. I love this. I think this kind of goes with your, remember when you got the star card and I said, I'm not really worried about any of the other cards on the table. I like the star card. The healer. Like the same, yeah? Often damage occurs through the neglect of the smaller wounds that could have been easily attended to. A careless statement, a hurtful action, or the ignored physical wound. Be mindful of the whole and the tiny ripples that often go on to create big waves. My God, yes. Caution is indicated as well as the need to take a little bit more time. The healer does not always involve themselves in the mending of great illness or a terrible conflict. It is the daily practice of stability. Lord, this should be made for Virgo. Oh my God! Astrological sign, Virgo. Do y'all see that? A nudge here and a nudge there. Immediate, watchful dedication to the small things just because they require attention. And the question they're asking you to ask yourself: when could I improve by taking the attitude of graceful detachment? Wow. Wow. When could I improve by taking the attitude of graceful detachment? Wow. And this is the dog rose. Wow. You know me, I love a good oracle card that backs up the reading, and that one certainly did. Thank you again to Shauna for these gorgeous cards. I'm loving them. And I'm doing something different now when I get new cards. I normally just go and go through all of them, but I am loving the surprise. Everything feels truly channeled, and I like, even with the Stranger Things card, I can't believe that I haven't gone through each one yet, but it's so much fun to see them come out and explore them. And the same with these roses cards and the white oracle. Virgo, I love you. Now you love you. I will see you back for April's readings, and hopefully I'll see you for Friday night. I'll be back tomorrow with Taurus and Sagittarius, and Sunday we'll be back for the Progress Moon Part 2. I'm also going to clean up the Progress Moon Part 1 for everyone. I'm probably going to do that later today. I actually block off time to like do technical stuff quite a bit in my schedule. I appreciate you all. And obviously, if you feel like you would like a personal reading, I do everything from 15 minutes to 90 minutes. And I do recorded readings. I don't love them as much. I will do them when they're necessary for timing or whatever else. But there's so much more that we can get even in a personal reading. Also, Skywalker Evolutionary, Connie Jo and I work together. Those dual sessions are incredible. And we'll pick up, you know, the same things or feel around something in different ways that creates a huge answer. And those are all on the website's in the description. And I'll see you all soon. All right.